how does environmental racism connect to systemic racism? Imagine living in a neighborhood where the air smells different and the water isn't as clean. Sadly, for many communities of color and low-income groups, this is a daily reality. Environmental racism is when these communities are exposed to more pollution, hazardous waste, and environmental dangers than others. This isn't just chance. It's built into policies and practices that have long favored some groups over others. Systemic racism is about how institutions, laws, and social systems create and keep these unequal outcomes. For example, in the past, policies like redlining made it impossible for Black families to buy homes in certain neighborhoods. These areas often ended up with factories, highways, and waste sites nearby. Over time, these neighborhoods had less green space, more pollution, and higher health risks. People living there are more likely to suffer from asthma, cancer, and other health problems linked to pollution. The connection is clear. Systemic racism shapes where industries and hazardous waste are placed and who benefits from environmental protections. Wealthier and mostly white communities tend to have cleaner air, safer water, and parks. Meanwhile, communities of color are more likely to live near pollution sources and have less say in land use decisions. This pattern isn't limited to the United States. Globally, countries with mostly people of color often face more environmental harm, even though they contribute less to climate change. Addressing environmental racism from a liberal point of view means recognizing that government and institutions play a role in creating these gaps. It involves enforcing environmental laws fairly and investing in clean infrastructure for all neighborhoods. It also means giving marginalized communities a voice in decisions about land use and pollution control. Supporting policies like affordable housing, health care, and economic opportunities can help reduce the long-term effects of environmental harm. Practical steps include backing environmental justice movements, pushing for stronger regulations on polluters, and encouraging urban planning that includes everyone. When we work to fix these root causes, society can move toward fairness and sustainability. It's about making sure no community bears the brunt of pollution simply because of where they live or their background. That's how addressing environmental racism connects directly to fighting systemic racism and building a more just world.